Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Yeah, I guess in many ways I've been blogging since 1996, even though they didn't call it blogging back then. We had CMSs available for us to use, but the price tag for those CMSs was abnormally high, like tens of thousands of dollars for a license or beyond. It was insane. I never even thought about using a CMS when I wanted to get information out there because it just wasn't a possibility. The term open source really wasn't in, I guess, geek culture yet. Certainly had not risen to the position that it currently has. And so, you know, I'm not a developer. I couldn't roll my own. I had to rely on the tools that were at my disposal. But in the blog post that we've written, the 5 critical components of a blog post, so it's kind of like an Ouroboros. Does anybody know what an Ouroboros is? The snake eating its own tail? There are certain things you want to put in a blog post. And it starts with an idea. And you let that idea just kind of flourish. Sometimes that idea is you found a really interesting website or some nice software that you wanted to let other people know about. And then from there, this blog post will evolve. I always like to start out with a personal story. I mean, I guess in many ways, the video that I'm doing now, it started with a personal story, how I began with blogging even before it was a word. So when you're creating content on the web, and I know you are. I mean, so many of you email me, and I'm grateful for it. My email address, by the way, chris@perillo.com. You email me and say, hey, I just started a blog about technology and this. Can you take a look and give me some feedback? So much of what you're creating lacks personality. And I'm just being directly honest with you. And if it doesn't, awesome, then you're doing a good job. But when I read a blog post that lacks personality, I'm gone. I'm floating away. Sometimes you're there to get the information. That's fine. But you can deliver information with a bit of personality too. When I was writing tips and tricks way back when within the Locker Gnome newsletter, which you should be subscribed to by now. Don't make me wag my finger like that. I always made it fun and still got information across, got the links out there. And because of that, that's how my persona evolved. And then, of course, when YouTube became available, it was easier to get my messages out there to an audience that was greater than my own reach. Twitter's helped with that, Google+, Facebook, all of the social media tools. But we still have that universe of content on lockergnome.com. So when I'm communicating to the people who contribute to LockerGnome, my number one tip is infuse it with personality. You can be getting information across, but make it interesting for the reader. You know, they're going to remember that article, for hopefully longer than 5 minutes after they've stopped reading it. And if you're not creating that kind of awareness, that type of personality around the things that you're creating for your own blog, you're really kind of missing the mark. And then there are other elements. Of course, we talk about 5 critical components, but to me, it's always about you, the writer, the person who's creating the content. And I could say the same thing if you're talking about videos on YouTube. You've got to infuse your personality. Without personality, it's just, ugh. Who wants to watch something that's devoid of personality? Nobody. That's actually how my girlfriend Diana and I met, was because I had a okay personality on video, or at least okay enough. Well, either way, it looks like Austin L. Allen 15 says, like this video, everyone. Thank you for watching it as it unfolds live. And yes, you can like this video. And hopefully you like the tips that we shared if you happen to have a blog on the internet.